Welcome back, everyone. We are here at Adoptions from the Heart TV. I'm your host, Amanda Aliberti. We are really excited because our agency, the last few years, has been trying to develop new programs and services for our birth parents. So we are sitting today with Kristen, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of those services we're providing to both expecting and birth parents. So let's welcome Kristen. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Kristen, I know we have been really excited and passionate about jumping into services we provide to our clients, not just during placement, but before and after. So can you talk a little bit about the needs assessment program that we have been putting together?
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that we were providing services to women outside of their pregnancy, women and men outside their pregnancy. So making sure we're really looking at their entire person rather than just placing their child. So we created a needs assessment that we can use when we're counseling expectant parents or to see if there's anything that we can do to support them, whether it be mental health services, transportation services, housing, education, to really create goals for them so they feel like they are prepared, once they've given birth, and they're provided support throughout the entire process. So a social worker can use this needs assessment to really sit down and see what's going on with them, because sometimes women and men aren't really sure what they need to work on. So we can use this needs assessment to really look at all their needs and then connect them with community resources.
Yeah, I think oftentimes people assume that an adoption social worker is really there to help coordinate the placement of that child, right? You're there to help her choose a family, coordinate everything at the hospital when she gives birth, but it's sounding as if you're really doing a thorough job of looking at the entire picture of that woman or man.
Right. Yeah, we want to make sure that outside of their pregnancy that we're looking at their entire life. Because a lot of times people come to us and they're making this plan. Maybe their life feels really chaotic and they don't feel like they have a handle on everything. So we as social workers can sit down and connect them to community resources to make sure that we're kind of providing them support.
Absolutely. Well, and so in addition to the initial kind of pregnancy, figuring out what needs this client may have, we are also trying to develop our services during and after placement. So we have our Resourceful Birth Parent Support Group, which has been amazing. Since COVID, we have actually gone virtual. So every month, we have an opportunity for birth parents and expecting parents to come together, lean on each other, and just kind of talk through what it feels like to place a child for adoption. And that's been really helpful for social workers to use as a resource in their counseling.
Yeah, if a woman is coming to us and considering their options and they're not really sure what an adoption will look like, what better way than to connect them with the support group? They can go to the support group, listen to what women and men are going through who have already been through it, and kind of get an idea of what that grief is going to look like, what that support will look like afterwards. So it's not just for people who have placed, it's also for people who are considering their options. Also, we can connect them with someone personally. If someone is struggling after they've placed and maybe they're not part of the support group, but there's someone who has, placed already, who's willing to kind of be a mentor for them. We've implemented a mentorship program to kind of mentor them through the program and help them, reach their goals and to have another support outside of a social worker.
And I find particularly for men, sometimes the mentoring is really helpful because men are not always comfortable kind of coming to a support group with other women. And I have found that being able to call or text another guy who has been through it before has been really helpful. So mentoring definitely has been a productive resource for our birth fathers.
Yeah, I think it's just a great way for birth parents to connect with people outside of social workers to really understand what they're going through and talk to them on a personal level rather than a professional level.
Absolutely.
Really have someone to text at 10 o'clock at night, and have someone to talk to them about what it was like when they went through it. Maybe right after you get out of the hospital, you're scared to text your social worker. So maybe you can text someone who's, been through it a couple years ago and provide you that personal, emotional support.
Absolutely. And then another layer to the services we're trying to provide at the agency is the idea of what's going to happen down the road, right? What's the future going to look like? Not just short term, but long term. And one of the ways we're trying to address that is to try to help empower our birth parents to figure out what's the next step. And one of the ways we're doing that is through the workshops. Can you share a little bit about some of the recent workshops we have done here at the agency?
Yeah, we've done some really cool ones recently. We did a therapeutic writing workshop where birth parents and adoptive parents could come together and write from both of their perspectives about what it was like in the adoptive process. So rather than just hearing it, through their social worker about what it's like to being an adoptive parent, they actually got to connect with their personal, adoptive parents and birth parents and hear them through a writing therapeutic workshop what it was like. And it really created some really interesting connections and really personal connections. And then we also did a financial budgeting workshop to help our birth parents learn how to budget and to get them in a better financial place.
Sure.
So it created some really great tips and tricks and goals for them to put them, and make them financially secure.
Yeah. I actually recently just got a phone call from a birth mom who attended the financial budgeting workshop, and she said, Amanda, I just have to tell you, I'm still using some of the tools that the consultant had taught us, and she's getting her credit score up, and she's really trying to do better for the kids that she's parenting. And I felt like a huge relief of, wow, this is working, right? We're actually trying to give them the tools and resources to make themselves better and go out there in the world and be productive and move forward in life. So that was a really great moment to have with one of our clients.
Yeah, and I know we're creating a self-care one right now that will be available for birth parents to really just get them in the mindset after, an adoption is really emotional. There's a lot of grief and loss. So a self-care workshop is really beneficial to our clients as well.
Yeah, we're kind of collaborating with this amazing life coach who is able to sit down and kind of figure out ways to just make our clients feel better about themselves, right? We can't fix everything, but she can give them some hints about how to wake up every day and make some changes so that you can feel more productive, feel more empowered, and we're really looking forward to that class for our clients.
Yeah, it's all about just not placing. It's all about beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
We have clients who reach out to us. We had a client who placed in 1991 and reached out to us, just a couple years ago and wanted support. And she's an active member of our support group. Yeah, so just always making sure that we're always here for our clients because adoption doesn't just begin and end with placement.
Sure. And that's what a lot of people assume. They just think birth parents come, they place their baby, and then they fall off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And when you sit down and you talk to birth parents, one of the first things they say is, I'm here, I'm important, like I'm a part of this conversation. And we're really trying hard to focus on these wraparound services so that we're not just there to quote unquote take a baby and leave, right? We're there to help support. We're there to help make them better and help them figure out what they want to do in life.
Right, because we wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely. Well, we are hopeful that we've been able to share with the community. You guys can see that we are not just an adoption agency. We're really here to help support our clients. Thanks so much, everybody.